My name is Dave Essler. This is my partner Joe Suma and Dave Linsmeyer. I'm sure you're all familiar with the NiteCap on the corner of Ivory Barrel. We signed a lease there and are currently working with the ABC and with the liquor application. Basically, what we want to do is rehab that sign, improve the security of that corner, make it a little more approachable bar for everyone in the neighborhood. I have 2 restaurants in the Mission with liquor licenses, and I have a great relationship with the neighborhood, with the police. We have not had an incident in either restaurant. Our surveillance cameras have led to put a murderer behind bars who shot one of our employees and mistook him for a gang member. I don't know if you guys saw that in the news, but our cameras, with the help of the Lexington Club and some city cameras, helped put that guy behind bars. At High-Low Barbecue across the street, our surveillance cameras there caught a guy who stabbed someone in front of a taqueria on Mission. So we haven't had any incidents with our patrons or our anything in and out of the bar, but just to, with surveillance, it shows how the police can come to us and use our footage, like the previous guy said, that it's on a DVR. It's great. It's led to, there's an undercover guy that was almost stabbed, and that footage helped them put this guy behind bars. So we just want to improve the corner. We'll have a 48 liquor license. We realize alcohol, you have to keep an eye on your patrons in the neighborhood. Joe is going to be the face of the bar. He came from New York City, had 2 establishments.
I like the Giants too. You're right. Can I just have the floor for a second? I just want to say, I don't pretend to be able to cure all the ills of the Tenderloin or do all that good stuff. But with the guys who were here before me, I'm so encouraged by the people who are coming into this neighborhood, like David, who are coming in here and we want to turn places into safer, more, hiring local people. We want to get the neighborhood behind these places, and we want to bring good people here to run these places. I feel like, and I don't mean to step on anybody's toes, but there was a lack of responsibility before. And what I want to bring to this neighborhood is responsibility for when we turn. We're going to turn that NiteCap around. That's my hope. That's my wish. We're going to make that corner a safer corner. We're going to make the neighborhood a better neighborhood. I'll be there almost 24/7. I'm the partner with just enough value in the company where I got to do everything. So I'll be there, and I'm going to get to know all of you, and one at a time. I've been here in San Francisco for 4 years. I've heard a little bit about. I spent a little bit of time in the Tenderloin, not as much as I would like to. I mean, I've been in the Mission mostly, and I do live in the Marina. But don't hold that against me. And I want to bring, and I like the guys here, I want to bring that comfort and responsibility to this neighborhood, and that's what I'm hoping that we'll be able to do. And that spot, that NiteCap is going to be, we're going to turn that around, and we're going to make that corner a safer corner. We're going to make that establishment something to be proud of, and I'm looking forward to getting to work and doing it. So we'll take any questions after my other partner speaks if he wants to.
I was just going to mention that in addition to having success with surveillance, the facade will be enlightened up as well. The ownership of the building wants to create a little bit more of an illuminated facade. The sign hasn't been lit in probably 5 years. We are currently installing 88 washrooms, which by law we are required to do. There have not been 88 washrooms in that establishment for forever. So we wanted to be proactive, come to this meeting, and we are certainly open to any questions and stay here as long as you like.
Okay, I've got 3 questions so far, so we're going to start with this one, John, and then.
Okay, number 1, my organization supports new businesses coming into the neighborhood. We want to have quality businesses. We don't want sales of beer less than 6-pack. We don't want any of the quart bottles of beer. We don't want the soda pop vodkas and stuff like that the young kids like. We want a place that has quality beers and wine for the neighborhood. We want a place that's not going to be attractive.
This is not a question.
We want to be a building that's
Well,
not going to be
I think what
attractive.
your question, are we gonna do any of
Another
that
thing
stuff?
with cigarettes,
Yeah, are we gonna do any of that stuff? The answer is no, all right? What I plan on doing there is I plan on opening, an establishment that's more in line with adult consumption of beverages. We're not gonna have, I don't even think I'll carry that crazy stuff, the Red Bull or the other crazy stuff. I am more concerned with the safety of my patrons and the people in the neighborhood than anyone I've ever encountered. We're not gonna do off-premise sales, okay? So I don't know, we don't sell six packs or anything like that. We're gonna do draft beer and bottled beer like a bar business does. We're not
I
off-premise.
thought you're sitting.
No, we're on premise, we're not off-premise.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're
Great.
bar.
Okay, questions. One, you're gonna go for an entertainment license. Two, are you,
No.
I already heard that you're going down, you're taking down the second floor of the basement. So is that where you're gonna put the ADA? Are you gonna be also putting a restaurant inside or food?
Wait.
Here you have the first floor, you have the second floor. So the remodeling of the basement, ever since you signed the lease. So what are you doing in this
Well,
second
I'll
floor,
tell you that-
which was dead space before it was storage? So what is going on down there?
So the basement's about 200 square feet. You got a duct when you go down there. So all we're gonna do in the basement is store liquor and put our walk-in cooler for beer. So it's purely like kind of an office storage area. It's got,
It'll be an employee zone.
doesn't have warranted ceilings, doesn't have warranted access. It's a glorified crawl space, to be honest with you.
But you're a bar, so you're gonna have off-sale liquor, so people, are you gonna have off-sale liquor?
We can.
No.
We're not selling anything off-premise.
Okay,
It's all-
I go back to my original question, entertainment.
No.
No.
What are you going to do, the
Wait, that's more than one question.
What are you going to do to your building on Hyde and take down the sign, because the police department has always made a point that that is part of your building, and that's part of the side of the building. Are you going to take down the sign? And
Yeah, wait,
Well, let me finish. Let me finish, because you made a point about the sign. That sign should go down because of what the police is saying in their newsletter about looking at storefronts, looking in. They want to be able to see inside your bar, and that's a state code to look inside every bar. So you, right now, the way that the windows look like, and also on the side, with sign there, sign has to go. You're going to operate the bar, the whole sign has to go.
So is your
Okay,
question,
let me-
is the sign going?
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay, so when
Or
you talk
you
about the
decide.
sign, you're talking about the billboard.
billboard.
Okay. We have gone to extensive lengths to try to get the landlord to take down the billboard. We don't have control of the billboard, the landlord does. I have a relationship with the landlord's a client of mine. If you guys could put together a letter, I've had neighbors
Well,
come.
this organization doesn't want this.
What?
This organization
We
is
don't
not
know
like
this.
this. Individually, we can do.
Well, I
not as
can
organization.
tell you that I have met extensively about, we've offered to pay for the $175 he gets in rent to take it down. So to answer your question, sir, we want the billboard down. We've had neighbors come to us, unsolicited, ask us to take down the billboard. It's a blight on the building. We think that's one of the gateways to the Tenderloin O'Farrell, and we want to make that a beautiful corner and illuminate. So we're on the same team with that. Unfortunately, the landlord's a business person, and billboards are grandfathered in, so if he takes that down, you can't replace it. He's talked to me about doing something that looks better, something smaller. So I will continue to try to do that. If I had the power to take down the billboard, I would. I don't own the building. At my two other restaurants, I own the building, which I prefer to do. And then I have control over that. We don't. So I will tell him what I found out at this meeting, and you will add to this,
The police will be doing it for you.
Pardon?
The police will be doing it for you.
Okay, well, whatever, yeah, whatever, any suggestions you have, we don't like the billboard either. So.
Yeah.
We had another question back here.
So, hiring, how large will your staff be, and how much will you hold to at least hiring one or two people from the immediate area?
Well, I'll be doing the hiring. And I'll tell you, I've already met, just being in the NiteCap during reconstruction, I've met people from the neighborhood, people have stopped in. What we'll do today is I'll leave a site or an email address for people in the neighborhood to apply. We're not gonna hire, I'll be honest with you, it's a very small place. I don't know how many of you are familiar with it.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking how large is your staff?
Oh, it's not gonna be huge, probably maybe 6 to 10
Okay.
people, depending on, you know what I mean? We don't have a kitchen, so I won't be hiring a kitchen staff, but we'll have bartenders, and we're gonna hire our own security. We're gonna do that in conjunction with the police department to figure out what the standards are to get our own security staff as well. So that's gonna add to our staff as well. So anywhere from 6 to 10, at least initially, and we'll go from there. And again, I love, listen, as a manager and a guy who runs a bar, I love people to be close by. There's nothing better than an employee being 5 minutes away. You know, I don't need people that take a half hour to get there if I need them, you know. So anything I can do right here, I prefer.
So I have a question, and that is, you talked about entertainment, but are you going to also plan to operate outdoor hours?
No. We won't be doing any we won't be applying for an entertainment license. I'll be the only entertainment, and I don't need a license for that. And as far as after hours, listen, everyone will be out of our establishment by ABC rules at 2 a.m. There won't be anybody in there or anybody out front. That's what my security and I will take care of. We do not plan on, listen, I gotta go home. I got a beautiful wife at home. I'm not staying after hours for anybody. We'll be closed up right on time. Again, David, I've worked for David before. We have liquor licenses.
So your role is the manager, I guess, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Was it clear what you're?
Oh yeah, I'll be the operating manager. I'll be there.
And then you're the what? You're the
Well,
business partner?
I'm overseeing the build out. Dave and I negotiated the lease. The reason we got the lease was because I had a relationship with the landlord. So I kind of oversee the real estate side, the legal side, the build out. You know, I don't.
They'll certainly be there and
But
responsible, but I'll be
whose name
there.
is on the liquor license?
The three of us, yeah. So he's an equity partner.
I'm just trying to
He's an equity
understand
partner in the establishment.
So, you know, as you know, alcohol causes harm to the community as well as benefit to some too. So, to mitigate the harm side, talk more about your safety plans, customer education, employee education. You're in a neighborhood that has already a lot of dangers for its residents as it is. I live about a block away from that. As you know, we have on-street drug dealing. And so what are your thoughts about cameras?
Well, like I was telling you,
police, all of that.
we will have cameras in and out, inside and out, like we do at the other establishments, which have led to helping police the neighborhood on their own accord. We're going to have an alarm system. Talking about the windows, we are going to have clear windows. We're replacing all the windows on the NiteCap. You know, it's got the little cubbies where you can't really see in and out. We want to have it more transparent.
Good.
In terms of educating people on alcohol, I mean, you know.
I err on the side of caution.
Yeah.
I've got a great reputation from coast to coast with I don't overserve. I value the safety and reputation of my establishment more than selling another drink to somebody. That's just the way it is. And again, I don't claim that I'm going to cure all the ills of the Tenderloin, but let me tell you something. That we're gonna improve that 200% if it's up to me.
To piggyback on what David was questioning, have you made an outreach to the community in the neighborhood? Because there is an alcoholic recovery meeting area on that corner. And I was wondering if you actually did any outreach to the community in the neighborhood itself, because there may be some opposition for you guys as well.
Well, we did a 500-foot mailing, even though it wasn't required, which I think says something on its own. So we're open to, more outreaches like this. We started years ago. We tried to purchase a NiteCap. We met with the police. So this is our first step. We're probably 3 months away from the license being approved if everything goes well. So we're here as a start, and we're working with our investigator. And we had a few protests come in. We're gonna. What I like to do is actually sit down when those are disclosed to me and meet with those people one-on-one and find out what their concerns are. So we're going to continue to outreach, and you know, keep going.
So, sir, this is a question because I've been going to a lot of meetings, and I'm noticing that a lot of different businesses are coming in the neighborhood, which all of a sudden the people that are coming like from different neighborhoods having to come to the Tenderloin end up having a culture shock, and then they feel like they're just totally unsafe, right? So, will you have any? I'm gonna start asking this question too. Have any type of cultural competency for your employees? Because sometimes coming down here, it is, especially if you're going to be hiring more out of the neighborhood, some type of cultural competency course for them, so then that way it'll be less of a shock on some of the issues that may go on around your.
You mean a shock for patrons coming in?
No, shocks for your employees.
Oh, right.
Because businesses are coming in here saying, well, oh no, we didn't know this. Let's hire 50,000 security guards.
It's a good question. I think I'd say, Joe, you can verify this, but I've got 90% of the people in the industry that are bartenders, servers, have worked in a variety of neighborhoods throughout San Francisco. I can't speak for them to that point, but it's been my experience that they have. You know, honestly, we haven't thought about it, but it's a very good point. So.
One of the things I can say is I opened a place back east that had a lot of problems. I mean, I took over a place that had a lot of drug issues, a lot of alcohol abuse issues in it, and it took me a little while to fix it up. And I'm no savior, but I know there's a plan to get something from, and your employees have to be on board, and that is a great question. And I think that just gave me an idea. Include that in an employee handbook. That look, you know, you may not know what you're getting into, and again, we're not coming in here as superheroes. We're just coming in here to create a safer, more respectful environment, and that's a great point. We do have to do a good job at educating our employees about what they're getting into and what's going to happen around here. Because let's face it, again, I live in a marina, and let me tell you, it's different there. I mean, I don't have to tell you folks that. You know it's different where I live, and it is a bit of a shock. And nobody needs people coming in here thinking that they know what's happening, they can fix everything, and that's not what we're going to be about.
But the good thing, like Joe said, is he opened a place in New York City in a tougher neighborhood, and he dealt with the former patrons coming in who maybe weren't going to really work in the new bar. And you know, he dealt with that transition. He's been through that, so he's got experience doing exactly what we see happening at the NiteCap.
And in the Mission.
Yeah, and in the Mission. So, and you know, the Tenderloin is funny because everyone knows it's a great part of town, great food, it's dynamic, and most people in the city know there's a lot of super parts of the Tenderloin. And you also get that, oh my God, the TL, you know, what are you doing? What are you crazy? You know, what? You know. So I think you're seeing some gentrification. You're seeing some kind of a change here, and I think, you know, we're easygoing guys. We got a lot of experience. We're willing to take it on.
And I'll be honest with you, from a guy who grew up around the South Bronx, I'd rather be here than the Mission. I mean, the Mission to me, I ain't even worried in the Mission. I'd rather be in the TL any day. So I'll let him stay in the Mission, and I'll come here.
Okay, guys.
All right.
Thanks.
Awesome. I think we have just a few
Yeah,
more
I
minutes.
leave business cards too. For if you guys want to email. If you guys ever want to look, we're renovating, and they had a 6-foot drop ceiling.
Yeah, come stop by.
And we opened it up, and we're gonna, you know, you look like architectural marvels, but all we did was demo it, and it's beautiful old architecture in there. So if you guys ever want to look at our remodel, stop in and see what's going on. Just shoot me an email.
So, do we have any other announcements from the community? I've got one. Go ahead. Two.
Hey everyone, I'm Alana with Free Space. I think I told you guys here about it before. We're a community cultural arts center. We had a temporary space on 7th and Mission, and we closed at the end of October. We recently were awarded a city grant to reopen as part of the Invest in Neighborhoods program from the mayor's office, and it's looking at specifically providing programming for low-income adults in the Central Market in Tenderloin. So we're really excited to be reopening, and we're looking at spaces right now, some of them in the Tenderloin, some of them on Market Street. And when we do open, we'd love to have everybody's input as to what type of programming you all want to see. The way that we operated at our spot on 7th and Mission was very much participant-driven and user-generated. So we had a lot of people coming in and offering ideas for classes, for workshops, for potlucks, for any type of community event. And so that's what we really want to continue to focus on, that and continue to build relationships in the area. So we are likely going to be reopening in January or February sometime, and I'll come back and announce that, but I just wanted to kind of plant the seed